Would moving the Heisman or other major college football awards back to mid-January decrease the number of bowl opt-outs? Is the Heisman significant enough to motivate a star to play another game? And then I added on top of this, because we are Heisman Trophy voters, how do you think it would change the winners or the voting process if we waited until after the postseason to vote on the Heisman?
I think that we're already in a situation where the playoff drives so much discussion that it's going to be hard to imagine many Heisman winners coming from programs that aren't playing for the college football playoff, or at least competing for it most of the season. And I think if you move it to mid-January, it's 100% of the time going to be whoever played the best in the college football playoff winning the award, which I don't know about that. As far as like impacting bowl opt-outs, do we care about bowls or not? Because like everybody wants to expand the playoff because the bowls are meaningless, but then they're all worried about players opting out of the bowl. So I get lost there, but I think it's the more important one is how would it impact the Heisman voting? And I just think it'd be 100% the quarterback of the national champion every single year if we do that.
Like whoever the offensive MVP was from the college football playoff national championship game.
Yeah.
It is interesting to think about in recent memory which Heisman Awards would have gone differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like Vince Young is the one that would stand out to me the most if you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Who else I'm trying to think here?
Deshaun was a runner-up twice.
Deshaun would have won it over Derrick Henry.
And then what was the Lamar one? Do you think Deshaun would have won it that year too?
Well, Lamar did win the head-to-head. Or no, he didn't. Sorry.
Deshaun won the head-to-head.
Deshaun won the head-to-head.
And then Lamar, I think in that year they played LSU in the bowl game, and I don't think he played very well.
I think it would have been. I think Derrick Henry would have still gotten it in 15. I think that, well, maybe not, because Deshaun threw for like 435 against Alabama in a losing effort.
Yeah.
After that championship game, and we came out of it. Whoa! Oh my gosh, Deshaun Watson, and it brought up all the hype for 2016, which, as you mentioned, Lamar Jackson was the Heisman winner, but then Deshaun Watson threw a game-winning touchdown pass to take down Alabama. If the voting was done then, that flips. I think Deshaun gets it over Lamar in 16.
Does Tebow take down Sam Bradford in 08?
After the championship game?
Yeah.
Probably.
Wow. That would have been 2 straight Heismans too, even with all the Archie Griffin pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Marcus Mariota probably still wins in 14. I know Ezekiel Elliott ran crazy in the college football playoff.
But was Zeke, I don't know, was Zeke like a real threat to win it at the time before that, though?
I don't remember him as – I remember that as being like a late season, postseason emergence of him as a star.
Yeah, like he was a very good player all season long, but I think the playoff was the real coming out party for national recognition.
Trying to think what other ones would have been interesting.
Yeah, because the Reggie Bush to Vince Young, it actually was handed when he just threw that ball. It was a Heisman Trophy that he was just dropping on the ground right there.
I still would have voted for Reggie Bush. No disrespect to Vince Young, but Reggie Bush was incredible.
So then, let's see, what else would we have in the mix? Devonta was a national champion. That would have been the same. Joe Burrow was a national champion. That would have been the same. In 2018, Kyler Murray won it. Tua was a finalist.
That might have changed.
Baker Mayfield in 2017. I think that Baker probably still would have won it, even though they lost in the semifinals.
Yeah, he played well enough in the Rose Bowl that I think he holds on to it.
Oh, which year was Christian McCaffrey a finalist?
It was
because he went crazy in the
Rose Bowl. Who won it that year? It was voted for McCaffrey that year.
Stetson Bennett over Bryce Young, says Dylon 47.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I voted for Stetson before the playoff, so of course. Now, who won it that year with that? McCaffrey was
that was Derrick Henry year.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston in 13. So what I'm looking at based on the last 10 years of data is if we moved it to January, there would probably 40% of the time we would possibly have a new Heisman Trophy winner. Not a majority of the time, but at least because in a sense, like the Heisman being a most outstanding player in college football, you're probably picking a national title contender. And if that national title contender plays for or wins the national championship, then you're probably still keeping the vote the same.
Yeah, and I mean, think about the impact that the conference title games have on the Heisman voting. Like, because those are the final games before votes are due, and you see how many times a player has a huge performance in an SEC championship game or a Big Ten championship, and it kind of tilts the voting in their favor because while a lot of Heisman voters are paying attention all season long, there are a lot of people who kind of just start paying attention at the end when their votes are due. And it's like,
Yes.
and it's like, oh, I saw that guy play. He played really well. So if you do that, if you move it to mid-January, I don't think it's a terrible idea, but I definitely think that will be the result. You're just going to get one of the players from the top 4 teams.
So it's almost like it has you've got a better chance of a Robert Griffin, Johnny Manziel, Lamar Jackson by having it in early December than you do if you moved it until after the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And would it impact players opting out? I say no.
No, because I don't think any of the players that are opting out are really Heisman contenders anyway, usually.
Or not competing for national championships, which the Venn diagram.
If you were Kenny Pickett last year, you're a Heisman finalist. Are you playing in that bowl game in hopes of getting more Heisman votes, even though you're not, your team's not in the playoff? It's the same situation, except now, maybe I'll pick up a few more Heisman votes. Is that really going to convince you to play in the game when your NFL future is what you're focused on?
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he's sitting there thinking, man, if I get 10 more second place votes, that's going to be like $5 million on my signing bonus. That's not how it works.